So lesson 6, we went through how to use time in sentences. We learned how to say a certain action happened at a certain timing. Right? So to recap lesson 6, right? For example, number 1, 今、午前、1時、15分です。So this 1時 and 15分, right? The counters, the numerals counting. If you remember, for the hours is a little bit unique, right? We are not using the normal 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We are using the alternative reading, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4. But she, we don't use it for hours also. So we don't use yon, we don't use she, then what we use? Anyone remember? Yo, thank you. So yoji is the correct version in this case, right? We don't say shiji. Shiji means death hour, right? So we don't want to say something inauspicious. For 15 minutes, for the minutes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not she, it's yonpun, right? So we're using back the original counting system, right? So yonpun. The only unique thing about this is, for example, 6 is not 6分, but 6分. Then for 8 is not 8分, but 8分. Right? So regarding this, you need to be aware that the PUN and the FUN. When we use FUN, when we use PUN. Right? So this is for the minutes. Right? So back to the grammar over here. Ima is right now. Right? So when we want to say AM, we will have to add gozen in front of the time to say AM. Right? You can think of it as Chinese, we say 早晨. Right? So we just put the hours in front. So AM 1:15. If you want to say PM, it will be the example number 1, go. Right? Afternoon PM. Right? So yoji 10分です. If you want to say exactly right now, we say ちょうど. Right? So but however, this ちょうど does not tell us is AM or PM. So if you want to say AM or PM, you still have to put in 今ちょうど午前9時です. Right? So you have to put in the AM and PM as accordingly. Hello, long time no see. Right? So the question word will be 何時, right? To ask for what time. So in Chinese we will like 几点, right? Very not commonly we will use 南分, because in Chinese we don't ask people, hey, now is 几点几分, right? We don't literally ask the minutes, right? So we usually just go with 何時. People will usually report back to you the minutes as well. Okay, unless you specifically need the minutes, then you have to say 何分. We are now at lesson 6. Recap. Right, so number 2. 今日は金曜日です. Right, so we have our Mondays to Sunday. It is not as easy as what Chinese, right? 星期一二三四五. Right, it's a little bit different in Japanese. They are using the elementals instead of counting 1 to 7. So in this case, 金曜日 is Friday. Then we have 土曜日, which is Saturday. Then we have 日曜日, which is Sunday. Right? It just happened that yesterday was PH. Anybody know how to say PH in Japanese? Just for your FYI, we call it 祝日. So which means 祝日. So that means public holiday. And since it falls on a weekend, anybody know what's weekend? Chinese we say 周末, right? Remember, 1 week is 週, 2週, right? 週 is week. So 週末 means end, so end of the week, so 週末. Of course it's W, 週末. So this is weekend. Then of course we also have weekday. Weekday is called 平日, which means normal day lah, 平日. Which literally means normal day, ordinary day. Right? So this is the 3 that might be useful to you if you want to use it. Right? Public holiday, weekends, and weekdays. In case you can't see, I zoom in. Oh, my tablet lagging again. I wonder why it keeps lagging. Okay.
Is my Chinese bad or is it just Jack that the 周末 got the 船字旁? I thought 周末 is just the...
Wait, sorry. Maybe it's me. Wait. Shumatsu. Yeah, correct. I'm not wrong. I'm correct. So this is shumatsu. With
Okay,
the
but Chinese
with
don't,
the boat.
But Chinese don't have the boat, right?
Chinese 周末 don't have. Chinese don't have.
Okay.
Japanese have. Okay, so it's not my problem. I thought I was wrong also. Yeah, but Chinese we don't have the 船字旁, the 船字底 we don't have. But Japanese we do have. 是. Okay, moving on to the question word, we can ask for what day of the week. So in Chinese we say 星期几, right? So we recycle the 星期. So in Japanese we recycle the 曜日. So we just need to ask 何曜日. Right, that's the question. Moving on, we have the month and the dates. So if you recall, the month is the one that is using the alternative reading, right? So for April, we don't say 4月, we say 4月. For July, we don't say 7月, we say 7月. For September as well, we don't say 9月, we say 9月. So please remember the month is using the secondary reading. Then for the days, it's also very unique to the point that we all hate that. From 1 to 10, 14, 20, 24, they are not very intuitive, right? It's not literally just like ichi nichi, right? So for first day of the month, 1日, right? Then we have the 2日, 3日, 4日, 5日, 6日, right? Doesn't make sense at all, right? It doesn't follow the 1, 2, 3, 4, go. So that one you have to try to memorize. For 14, it recycles number 4, right? So 4 is 4日. So we recycle, we say 14日. Then 24 is 24日. And for 20, it's also very unique. We don't say 20日. Instead, we use 20日. So you just have to memorize all these special ones. 1 to 10 is the hardest. I have to say 6 to 10 is, I don't know why, but it doesn't come to my mind when I started learning this. 6 to 10 is the hardest one, I feel. The rest is still okay. Right, then how to use it is you go for the Chinese standard, right? Chinese we say the month first, then the day. So month, day. So same as Japanese, we will say month, day. So year, month, day. Right, so that's how you report the date. Question words, similarly, we recycle the word 月, which means month. So we just say 何月, 何日. Of course, number 5, you can see that there's a very unique word here. So this is our 5W1H, when. The very general sense of when. So if you want to ask like a very broad date, instead of a particular time, we will use いつ. Right? So that literally means when in English. Moving on to the year. The year is very straightforward. There's no unique saying or unique year that we need to pronounce differently. So if you see the year 2000, 2000年. You see the year 2026, 2026年. So very straightforward for year. Okay, so for how to ask for year, we just have to say 何年. Right? So the structure is year, month, day. So we'll put the year first. Right? So same as Chinese. Number 5 is when we start to use our verbs with the time. So for example, I perform a certain action at a certain timing. Right? I want to say exactly at this timing, I perform this action. So action are words that ends with mas. Right? So in this case, we see the example, okimasu. Okimasu is an action, which means to wake up. So what happens to wake up? We want to say wake up at 6. Right? In English, we have this particle called at to dictate the time slot that we are doing this action. So in Japanese, we also need a particle. The particle in this case is called ni. So 6時に起きます. So I wake up at 6 o'clock. Right? So we have also more examples below, but I will skip them. So the new question word, when we are asking for an action performed at a certain timing, just recycle the 何時. But in this case, we need to put a ni to connect the time with the action. Right? So next, number 6, we have kara and gogo. So this is very straightforward. It's just our from and until. Right? In Chinese, we say 从到. Right? 从8点到9点. So we are recycling this kara and made. The usage is very similar to how we use in English. It's very similar to how we use in Chinese. The only particular thing that is different from English and Chinese is our word kara and our word made is at the end of the time, not in front of the time. Right? Chinese and English we use it in front of the time, but Japanese we use it behind the time. Right? So kara and made is also not restricted to only time. We can also use it for example, I'm traveling from Tampines to Jurong East. Right? So Tampines kara Jurong East to made. So we can use it for physical location. We can also use it for example, I'm giving a present from me to you. Right? We can also use it in that sense. Right? So we haven't learned the word give. We'll learn it in lesson 9. But for now, I'm telling you, we're not restricted to only using it on time. Okay. Moving on, we have our new question word. So same thing, anything that involves time, just simply write nanji. Right? So nanji, kara. Kara is our particle in this sense. We are interested to know what time this action starts. Right? So nanji, kara. So we don't need a ni in this case for between the time and the action because we already have a kara particle. Right? We want to know what time it starts from. Right? Ni is to mention what time it starts at. So we're not interested in the at, we're interested in the from. So we already have a particle kara, so we don't need ni. Right? So please avoid writing like kara ni. Combine two particles together. Right? We do combine particles together, but not at this stage. Right? We need to understand further first. Okay, moving on, we have this shimasu. The negative version will be shimasen. Right? So for a verb with shimasu means I will do. Will do is present tense and affirmative tense. So affirmative means it's not the negative version lah. Okay, that means I will do this. Right? So I want to say I do not do this. I will not do this. So I will say shimasen. So change mas to masen only. Very simple. Alright, next we have the past tense as well. So instead of saying shimasu, we change to shimashita. Become past tense. But it's still affirmative version, right? So it's not like would not. So it's would. So it's just changed to past tense. So will change to would. So I would do. Instead of saying I will do. Right? So past tense is shimashita. So whatever things that happen in the past, we use shimashita. Whatever things that are happening in the present, like right now is happening, in the future is happening, we will use the affirmative tense, the must version. Right? Of course, we are going to have a negative past tense as well. So shimasen, we already can't change it to a negative form. There's no way to change it to a negative form, change it to a past tense form. So we will keep the masen, and to mention past tense, we will put in deshita. So deshita comes from des, right? But however, I mentioned to you, we cannot have shimasen des, right? Shimasen is already polite, and then you add another des becomes double polite. So we don't have this double polite thing. You just need to be aware that we only use double polite when we want to say negative past tense. So shimasen, deshita. So each have their own role. Shimasen tells us that it's negative. Deshita tells us it is past tense. Right? So shimasen, deshita. We have this table that summarizes everything here. So you can refer to this table on how to use which one is the past tense, which one is the negative version. Okay. Moving on to number 10. So this is another structure. Just now we mentioned the verb. So for example, this one. So the verb is at the end of the sentence, right? So something kara, something made, hatarakimasu, right? So the verb is at the end of the sentence. Now we put the verb at the front. So what do I mean by putting the verb at the front? We change the verb into a noun. Right? So for example, benkyo shimasu is the verb. I remove the shimasu, it becomes a noun. So when it is a noun, I can use it at the front. I can use it as a subject. So benkyo wa, so my study is from 6 to 8. So instead of saying I study from 6 to 8, it becomes my study is from 6 to 8. So it becomes a noun, right? So it doesn't work for every verbs, right? We can't just remove the must and then it becomes a verb. It only works for certain verbs, right? We will learn what kind of verbs that can do this when we go on to E2, right? We have a full list of them. We call them the group 1, group 2, group 3. Right, we'll go down to E2, then we will understand what kind of verb can become a noun just by removing must. Right, but for now, just understand that shigoto means work, it is a noun. Yasumi is used to be a verb, yasumimasu. We remove must, it becomes yasumi, it becomes a noun. Same thing, benkyo is also a noun. So all these are just saying that the work as a noun is from 7:30 to 6:15. Yasumi, rest. The rest is from 12 to 1. So we're just using them as a verb instead, using them as a noun instead of using them as a verb. Okay, so that's all for the recap. Okay, so I went through the passage already. So let's go through the homework. Lesson 6 homework. Okay. Everybody okay? Got finish? Okay, lesson 6. We'll go for the table first. So basically you need to change their form. So starting with 智慧, right? Don't worry, it's easy. It's easy. Okay, hatarakimasu. You just see the example. Hatarakimasu. Hatarakimasen. Right? Then the next one, mashita. Then the last one, very good. Hatarakimasen deshita. So at this present moment, very simple. Just throw away the must and put in the underlined word. Right? So hatarakimasu means will work. Very good. To work, will work. Next, yasumimasu. Change to yasumimasen. Then next one, yasumimashita. Then the last one, yasumimasen deshita. Thank you. Following next one, we have nemasu. Okay, very good. Next one, benkyou shimasu, Lisa. Benkyou shimasen. Benkyou shimashita. Sorry? Benkyou shimashita. Benkyou shimashita. Right, benkyou shimashita. Then the last one is benkyou shimasen deshita. Right? So basically we just need to remove the must only. So the must is shimasu, we just keep the shi, we change the must. Right? So the must become masen deshita. Okay, write in hiragana in example. So for example, we have 10:30. So 10:30, how do we say in Japanese?
10時30分
Okay, 10時30分 is okay. We have another way to say it.
10時半
Can also, right? 10時半. So 10時, right? 10 o'clock, 10時. 30分 is 30 minutes, right? So 10時30分. Or if you want to say 10時半 is fine as well. So 10時半 is just how you say in Chinese lah, 4點半, right? So 10時半. 10時半. You all need me to write this. If you need me to write it out, please let me know. I'll be happy to write. Next, we have the 4:15. Very good. And we don't pronounce it fun. Hun. And there's no F, not F sound. There's no F in Japanese. Hun. Hun. Okay, so yoji, she captured it correctly. So it's not yonji, it's not shiji, but yoji. Yoji, 15 分. Right. 9:20. 9時20分. Thank you. 9時20分 is correct. Right? 9時. It's not QG. Right? She captured it correctly as well. 9時20分. There's a double consonant sound. 20分. So not 20分, but 20分. 6:14. 6時14 Is it PUN?
No.
6時14分
Alright.
FUN, not PUN. 6時14分 14分 Wait, I don't think it's 14分 It's FUN, not PUN. Right.
Well, I call
Oh, you're correct. 14分, sorry.
Yes, okay.
See? Mistakes like this is...
No, you made me doubt I translated the...
I also not very sure. Let me... I went to check. Sorry, 14. Oh, I wrote it correctly here. 14. And then I still can say 14. Okay. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Honestly, the pun and pun is very, very confusing. But if you happen to make a mistake in front of a Japanese person, they will not correct you as well. They will just take it as face level. Say for the month. I got hear some of them, they like 7个字. But it's wrong lah. It's supposed to be 7个字.
Okay, but you get it.
Yeah, you get it can already. That's the point, yeah. Okay, I have the answers already, but anyways, what time is it now? 今何時ですか? Right? So do we need a wa over here? 今は何時ですか? I'll leave it as optional. So if you want to emphasize about now, really you want to say about now. So if you want to focus on now, we put the wa because the wa is the subject particle. So if you're emphasizing on right now, if you don't want to emphasize on right now, you want to emphasize more about the nanji, which is the what time, the question, then we don't need the wa. So I'll leave the wa as optional. It is 1 minute past 1.
1時1分です。
1時1分です。Thank you. So 1時1分です。Number 2, I wake up at 7 in the morning.
私は朝7時に起きます。
Thank you. Asa is already morning, right? So 朝7時に起きます。Right? 7時に起きます。I study from 8 to 10 tomorrow.
私は明日8時から10時まで勉強します。
Okay, very good. So 私は明日8時から10時まで勉強します。So I will leave the subject as optional also because probably we know who we are talking about in a conversation. So usually we can omit the subject. It's not very cool to watashi all the time. Right? Number 4, I worked yesterday.
私は昨日働きました。
働きました。働きました。RA is not the R sound, don't overemphasize it. Yeah, don't overemphasize the ra sound. So just la, hatarakimashita. Okay, next page we have number 5. He takes a break from 1:30. Okay, 彼は午後 but we don't know whether it's 午後 or not lah. We just say 1時半。1時半から休みます。Right, 1時半から。から it means from. So from 1:30. 彼は1時半から休みます。Number 6, what time do you sleep?
あなたは何時に寝ますか?
Okay, very good. あなたは何時に寝ますか? Right, it's present tense because you are asking about in the future. I sleep at 11 p.m. tonight.
私は夜午後11時に寝ます。
Okay, so she mentioned gogo plus yoru. Right? Usually we just need to mention one of it because yoru naturally is PM already. So you can skip the gogo actually. Right? So 私は夜11時に寝ます。Right? So if you don't want to use yoru, you want to specify tonight. Very specifically tonight. You can consider using komba. Right? Yoru is just generally, I sleep at 11 at night. Right? But in this case, they specify tonight. So just for today. Right? So tonight is komba or konya. Or if you want to say it in a more safer way, kyou no yoru. Right? That means today's night. So your choice. I'm not saying yoru is wrong. Yoru is more general. Like usually nights I sleep at 11. We are not specifying tonight. But since the question says tonight, you might want to consider using any one of this. Number 7.
So how would the sentence sound?
Same. So 私は今晩11時に寝ます。
Okay, so if I wrote Konban Gogo.
No need. Konban night is already PM.
Okay.
Right? We don't. I mean, we do in English. We usually say like, "Wow, tonight 9 p.m."
Yeah.
But it's like a repeat of the PM. You see.
Right. Okay.
So tonight 9 o'clock can it's also the same meaning.
Okay.
7. Did you work yesterday?
あなたは昨日働きましたか
Okay. あなたは昨日働きましたか? Right? As a question, so we just need to put a ka at the end. So 昨日働きましたか? So yesterday work? Yesterday worked? No, I didn't.
いえ、働きませんでした。
働きませんでした。働きませんでした。So did not work. Right? Did not work. So I'm missing the iye. Yeah. Technically, if you want to directly translate, you can say iye. Right? Because they said no, I didn't. Okay, number 8. What time to what time did you study last night?
あなたは昨日何時から何時まで勉強しましたか
Okay, you are missing the night. Last night. So 昨日の夜. 昨日の夜 will be good. Right? So あなたは昨日の夜何時から何時まで勉強しましたか? Right? So for yesterday, there's a few ways to say it. So you can say 昨日の夜, 昨日の晩. Or if you want to cut short, you can say 昨晩 or 昨夜. They are all the same meaning, right? 昨晩 or 昨夜. What's that sound, man? Yeah. Okay, 昨晩 or 昨夜 also means refers to last night. Okay. Moving on, we have I studied from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Yes.
私は午後9時から10時まで勉強しました。
Very good. 私は午後9時から10時まで勉強しました. Right? We don't need to say 午後 two times because we are referring to the same time period. Right? So we don't need to be like 午後9時から午後10時まで. Right? So we can just cut the 午後 from the second one. So 勉強しました. Past tense. If you don't want to say 午後, you can also just use the word 夜. Right? Because 9 p.m. is at night. So you can just say 夜9時から10時まで勉強しました. Moving on to the next one. So answer in Japanese. So number 1. 毎朝何時に起きますか?
私は毎朝9時に起きます
Very good. So this open-ended question, your answer may vary. So 私は朝9時に起きます. So she says she wake up at 9 in the morning. Number 2. 昨日の晩何時に寝ましたか?
昨日の晩10時半に寝ました
Okay, good. 昨日の晩10時半に寝ました. So she sleeps at 10 yesterday night. Right? So 昨日の晩, basically you just repeat the entire sentence. You just need to change the question. Just need to change the 何時 to your preferred timing. And then you remove the ka at the end. Then that's your answer already. Number 3. 今朝6時に起きましたか?
いえ、起きませんでした。
Okay, いいえ起きませんでした. That's one answer. No, I did not wake up. Second answer could be clarifying what time you wake up.
Okay.
Right? Anybody want to try? Lisa, you want to try? Clarifying what time you wake up. instead? いいえ
put hi to
Sorry?
put hi 私は
Oh, you agree.
yeah
はい。はい、6時に起きました。Okay. How about Jonathan? Is it Jonathan? Sorry, Junhao. Sorry. I just give him the English name. In my mind was like Junhao, Jonathan.
家9時に起きました。
Very good. So you can also answer in this way. 家9時に起きました。No, I woke up at 9. So you can say no, I did not wake up at 6. Or you can say no, I wake up at 9. Okay, so two kinds of answer. Okay, last one. 今晩11時半に寝ましたか？
いえ私は1時に寝ます
Okay, very good. So this is in the future. So please don't use 寝ました。
寝ます
寝ます is good, right? So, はい、今晩11時半に寝ます。Right, I will sleep at 11 tonight. Right, it's present tense, so I will sleep. So don't change it to past tense because it's happening in the future. Next page we have number 5.
So when you say hi, you must repeat the whole thing, or can you shortcut it? Like,
Okay, you can just say はいそうです Remember? そうです Yeah, that's the shortest one I can give you. はいそうです Okay, next page number 5. 明日は何曜日ですか？すごい。
明日は月曜日です。
Okay, 明日は月曜日です Monday, so tomorrow is Monday. If you want to answer even shorter, 月曜日です Right, just literally say, oh, Monday です Right, 月曜日です Number 6. 明日の朝何時に起きますか？
明日の朝6時に起きます。
Okay, 6時に起きます Present tense because it's happening in the future. Right, 6時に起きます Number 5. 何時から働きますか？
8時半働きますか？
Okay, 7時
働きます。
7時に働きます Okay, 7時に Or you can say 7時半7時から働きます You can use both lah 7時に働きます means I will work at 7 o'clock Or you can say I work from 7 o'clock Both is okay Right, either use ni or you use から Number 8. 何時から何時まで休みますか？
私は午後12時から1時まで休みます
Very good. So she copied the answer from the previous homework, the previous page. 12時から午後12時から1時まで休みます。Okay, number 9. お母さんは今朝何時に起きましたか？
お母さんは今朝6時に起きました。
Okay, 6時に起きました。Right, past tense because 今朝 means this morning. Already finished, already happened. So 起きました。Number 10. 明日勉強しますか？
はい。明日勉強します。
Okay. Present tense because it's tomorrow. So はい勉強します。はいそうです。Okay, you can choose whichever you want. Number 11. 昨日働きましたか？
I put hi. はい、働きました。
Okay, so 昨日 is past tense, yesterday, right? So she used past tense is correct. はい働きました。If I want to say so, what should I use? そうです。or そうでした。
そうです。
Okay, one person says そうです、one person says そうでした。
So that sounds weird.
そうでした sounds weird?
Yeah.
Okay, so we actually say そうです not そうでした Okay, そうです is because you already did the action and this is a fact that will last into the future. So we will means the fact that you already worked, you are agreeing to the fact. So in this agreement will go on into the future. So we say そうです Right, there is no そうでした in Japanese. I never hear people say so deshita. If you hear people say so deshita, they are just a Japanese learner. They are not native. Please don't say so deshita. There are still situations where we use so deshita, but it's really very special case. So that means like a fact that no longer is, like the fact has no longer been it's no longer existing. For example, my grandfather used to wake up at 6 a.m, but he died. Then the fact ended already. The fact ended with his passing. So I don't say so des, I say so deshita. Then in that case we say so deshita. That means the person has ceased to exist. That fact has ceased to exist. Then we say so deshita. A bit complicated lah, but it's okay to just use so des. Okay? Next we have number 12. Asatte wa nanyoubi desu ka? Kayoubi desu. Thank you. So Tuesday is kayoubi desu. 13. Nichiyoubi hatarakimasu ka?
いえ、働きませんでした。
Okay. いえ、働きませんでした。Very good. 働きませんでした。14. あなたは昨日休みましたか？
いいえ、あなたは昨日休みませんでした。
Very good. So 昨日 is yesterday. So she want to say yesterday past tense plus negative. So いいえ、休みませんでした。Negative past tense. Very good. 15. 日本語の勉強は何時からですか？
日本語の勉強は2時からです。
Okay, good. 2時からです。Right? 日本語の勉強は2時からです。If you want to put AM, PM also can, go 2時からです。Your choice. Okay, then we have the zoo conversation. Alright, first question. 田中さんによると、キリンはどうですか？
キリンの首が長いです。
キリンの首は長いです。Good. キリンの首は長いです。or キリンは首が長いです。So you choose which one you prefer. Both is okay.
So we're going to translate that in English.
Both the answers?
Yeah.
Okay, remember when we... Okay, that one I will go back to the textbook, right?
Okay.
So the textbook lesson 5, we talk about the something wa and ga, right? But basically we are focusing on the features of the body. So basically if you want to say about the giraffe, the neck is long. Or you can say the giraffe apostrophe s neck is long.
Sorry, the question is the giraffe.
So they're asking you like according to Kanaka,
Yeah.
what about the neck of giraffe? So do.
Okay, I totally translated it wrong.
Yeah.
I wrote it down as where was the giraffe and I was very confused.
So that one, okay, this is do. Do
Yeah.
is like 怎样, like
yeah,
how.
Yeah.
So doko is where. So I think you misread the.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
How do you got say about the neck?
he did. Yeah. So
Oh, but
basi-
in that conversation. But
In
not
the
in the question,
conversation.
right?
yeah. So in the conversation, right? So this is lesson 6 conversation. Okay. Where is it? Yeah. So lesson 6 conversation. Oh no, lesson 5. My bad. Okay, okay, I'm on the right passage now. So second line, right? Tanaka says, あれはキリンです。キリンは首が長いですね。Right? You don't need to copy the net. Net is just a conversation. You just wanted to ask a question, right? So please don't use the net. So basically, he already mentioned that the neck of the giraffe is long. So this yoruto is a higher level grammar, but I translate for you here. You just say ni yoruto. So ni yoruto simply means according to. Right, so according to Kanaka, in the second line, he said that giraffe neck is long. So you just need to capture the fact that giraffe neck is long. Right, so kirin. So if you want to capture it like how it is in the passage, kirin wa kubi ga nagai desu. So you're saying that about my subject, the subject here is giraffe. So about the giraffe, then kubi ga. Ga is my object particle. So regarding the object, which is the neck is long. So I'm not saying the giraffe is long. I'm saying about the giraffe, usually their neck is long. Right? As compared to kirin no kubi ga nagai desu. So if I say in this way, I use the no. No is a possession particle to say that the neck belongs to the giraffe. So in this case, I'm specifying that this particular giraffe, the neck is long. As compared to saying in general, giraffe necks are long. Right? So that is the very minute detail between using no and wa. Right? I believe Yao Sang also asked this last lesson as well, regarding the using the wa and no. Both is okay. In general sense, the difference is very, very small, but there are slight differences. One is talking about the specific giraffe that he's seeing, the other one is just like giraffe in general. So the one that's talking about in general is the one in the passage. Kirin wa kubi ga nagai desu. So he's not specifying the giraffe that is in front of him. He's just saying, oh, in general, giraffe neck is long. Okay? Next. Number 2. Tanaka-san wa donna doubutsu ga suki desu ka? Who was it? Lisa? Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Junhao.
好きです。特に犬が大好きです。
Okay, so over here the word is donna. So we learn the word donna in lesson 4, adjective. So basically we are asking for a adjective, like what kind of. Right? We are looking at what kind of. So in this case, he is looking for what kind of animal that he likes. So if you look at the passage, right, the question was asked in the 6th line. Tanaka-san wa doubutsu ga suki desu ka? Right, so he asked him, do you like animals? Then he specified that inu ga daisuki desu. So what kind of animal? Inu, right, dog. So your answer is okay. So your answer should just be inu ga suki desu. Right, we don't need to talk anything, right? Just say inu ga suki desu. Okay, next, number 3. Rim-san wa donna doubutsu ga suki desu ka?
I think I answered wrong.
Sorry?
I think my answer is wrong.
Try.
I wrote Rim-san wa doubutsu ga hontou ni tanoshii desu.
Okay, your answer is like he really feels happy about animals. Right, which is, yeah, you're right, it's not correct. Alright, so your answer is literally saying, yeah, he's happy about animals. Which sounds very weird lah.
Asking what kind of animal.
Yeah, he's asking what kind of animal he likes. So you can see the third last line. So desu ka? Watashi wa tori ga suki desu. Right, so we just need to capture this. Rim-san wa tori ga suki desu. Right, we just need to capture this line. So what kind of animal? Birds. He likes birds. Okay, next question. Tanaka-san no kirai na. Right, kirai is a na adjective, so we need to put a na particle. So kirai na doubutsu wa nan desu ka? Yes.
Tanaka-san no kirai na doubutsu wa hebi desu.
Okay, very good. Is it just heavy? Or just for Tanaka, right? So don't be confused with the next guy. So in the passage, right, the last line by Lim, he said that he don't like hebi and he also don't like gokiburi. But this gokiburi is cockroach. So this cockroach is only hated by Lim, not Tanaka. So if you copy both, you're wrong. We just need to copy one, which is hebi ga kirai desu. So Tanaka-san wa hebi ga kirai desu. Okay, so in this case, I think she said Tanaka-san no kirai. The no particle don't need. Tanaka-san kirai. We don't need the no. Right? We don't say like Tanaka-san 的讨厌. You'll be more like 讨厌的. The 讨厌的 the is already with the na. Kirai na. So we don't need the no in between the word kirai and the person's name. Tanaka-san wa, not no, it's supposed to be wa. So Tanaka-san. It's not Tanaka-san no kirai na. It's Tanaka-san wa kirai na. So in that case, you are not correct.
Then how come the question put no? Is it okay to ask with no, but answer with no?
I think it's not the best lah.
Okay.
So I would say the better one is Tanaka-san wa kirai na doubutsu ga nan desu ka? Right, because the
Oh.
hated animal doesn't belong to him. Right? So in this case, it's not appropriate to use no. So the question is not very good, I would say. We use wa is better. So the subject here is Tanaka, then the object that we're talking about is animals he don't like. Rather than the animals he don't like belonging to him. Right? So we don't want to give that wrong imply. Okay, so the question is, the question is not very good. Okay, moving on to the next passage in lesson 6, right, the one about the birthday. Tanaka-san no tanjoubi wa itsu desu ka?
8月9日です
8月9日です. Very good. So we got that from the third line when Lee replied, 8月9日です. Right? 9 of August. So that is his birthday. Right? We know because the next line he replied, oh, watashi no tanjoubi to onaji desu. Right? Which means like, oh, same as my birthday. Right? Moving on to the next one, we have the next passage number 2, which is about the one that overnight, he worked overnight. So Kimura-san wa kesa nanji ni okimashita ka?
木村さん5時半に起きました。
Thank you. So if you look at the passage, the second line, he replied to Tanaka's question, 5時半に起きました. So you just copy, lift up the entire conversation and paste it here. Okay, next. Tanaka-san wa doushite kino nemasen deshita ka?
田中さんは英語の試験
So どうして means why, right? So why yesterday never slept. Okay, this one's a little bit complicated.
英語の試験ですから一晩中勉強しました
Okay. So basically the question is why he did not sleep, right? So he didn't sleep because he studied the whole night. Or rather, is it because of the exam? So the direct cause, right? Because we're asking why he never sleep. The direct cause is because of the study, not the English exam. Although there's the English exam, that's why he studied. But the direct cause is because he was studying the whole night. So we just need to reply, 一晩中勉強しましたからです. Right? So this kara, no, it's not the timing like from what time to what time. This kara is to give a reason. Right? It's like 因为如果为什么 and 因为. Right? So
Why if I want to add the English exam?
if you want to add the English exam, right, we will need to learn this particle called know that. So know that is another kara. But we cannot have two kara in one sentence. So we will be like 英語の試験がありますから. So があります is have. But you haven't learned. You will learn this in lesson 10. But basically it's like because there is English exam, then he studied the whole night. That's why he never sleep. Something like that. So we need to learn this particle called know that. But this will come in E3 lah. So don't worry about that now. For now, just understand the direct cause. The direct cause is not because of the English exam, but because of the whole night he was studying. That's why he never slept. Right. Of course, why he was studying the whole night? Because of the exam. Right. So in this case, we just write one answer. We don't need to write the English exam. We just capture because he was studying the whole night.
Behind must add the
Kara des. Correct. Kara is just studying like because of like that. That's why des.
Can you repeat the whole correct answer? Then
Sure.
I'll write it down.
I write it down also can.
Thank you.
Can.
It's a bit too much.
Can. I'll write it down. Okay. So 一晩中勉強 ましたか
So we write that in
ら
kanji.
です。If you want to write in hiragana also can. 一晩中 I was just a bit lazy, sorry. 一晩中 Right. 一晩中勉強しましたからです。If you want to write 勉強 in Chinese also can. It's just 勉强。勉強 is 勉強。I don't know why lah.
Study.
Yeah, study is very hard. It's forced. Right, study in Japanese is 勉强 in Chinese. It's like, wow, need to force. Right, so 勉強しましたからです。So how to explain why is really used? You end the sentence with からです to say like, oh, like that lor. So we don't say ですから, right? ですから is if you have a second sentence that you want to continue saying. But if you want to end the sentence already, just say からです. Right? If you still want to say something, then you switch the から in the です position. Right? からです and ですから. Okay, next we have 木村さんは昨日何時から何時まで働きましたか？
木村さんは今日午前9時から午後8時まで働きます。
Okay, very good. So if you look at the passage, right? He says the last third line, いつも午前9時から午後5時までです。So which means usually, いつも is usually, so usually from 9 to 5, right? Then you read the next line, でも means however, right? So there's a clause, there's a caveat here. However, 今日は残業ですから, right? Because today is overtime, 8時まで働きます。So because today overtime, so he end at 8. So that means today he worked from morning 9, night 8. So your answer should be 今日は9時から8時まで働きます。Right? So he worked from 9 to 8. So if you said that he worked until 5, you're wrong. Right? Because today he overtime. Any questions? Okay. Vocabulary. Let's just repeat after me. 病院銀行公園食堂バスタクシー right? So you hear the silent U, or I mean you don't hear the silent U. Next we have 電車地下鉄自転車飛行機船友達恋人彼氏彼女買い物香港オーストラリア Okay, we break this up. I know this one very hard to pronounce. I also had trouble the first time. We break this up. オーストラリアオーストラリアオーストラリア Much better, right? It takes a lot of practice. I had trouble pronouncing this. Sometimes when I want to say this fast, it's also very difficult. Australia. Okay.
But technically you can just say Australia. Sorry. The Japanese person will get.
Yeah, they'll get it lah. Okay. Next, 行きます来ます帰ります So these three is our action verbs. Okay, action verbs, that means they are action. Alright, but one unique thing is they are also a directional verb. So actional, directional verb. So it is directional because we have to be going to somewhere. right? Going back to somewhere, come to somewhere. So this is why I say they are directional. We'll talk more about this in the grammar section. Next we have aruite. Aruite. So aruite comes from the word arukimasu. Right? Arukimasu means to walk. So aruite, the te at the back suggests that this is a te form. Right? Te form, te form. So te form we will learn it in E2, but for now we need to use it for another reason. So we'll go through that in the grammar section. But just understand that aruite comes from the word arukimasu, which means to walk. Right? Of course, arukimasu is also a directional verb, right? You have to walk to somewhere. So arukimasu. Next, hitoride. Hitoride. Ishoni. Right? This is a long air sound. It's like A-I-R in English. Air. Right? So we drag out the air sound and then we go up higher in tone. So air. Good. Next page is our lesson 7. So directional verbs.
There's one more.
Oh, there's one more page. Oh, I'm missing. Okay. There. Right, so there is a grammar particle that we'll be learning in the grammar section. Okay, next page. I think
I thought the kanojo also can mean she.
Yes, kanojo also means she. So kanojo has two meanings. It can mean girlfriend, it can mean she.
Then how you tell?
Okay, so it's like Chinese. I tell you 女朋友. 女朋友 can be girlfriend, can be female friend. Correct? So how we tell? Context of the sentence lah. So you tell your friend, 我有一个女朋友. I got a girlfriend. 我有女朋友. I got a girlfriend. Alright, so same thing, somewhat similar lah. So how we tell is usually by the context.
Then this kare also.
Kare is he, but usually we refer to boyfriend is kareshi. Yeah, so that's why got two differences.
It's also.
So it's easier to tell apart boyfriend and boyfriend.
Okay.
But girlfriend is jumbled together.
Alright.
But anyways, it's easy to tell because you will know lah whether it's like people will be like kanojo, like girlfriend. Yeah, so you can confirm.
It's like no, go space friend.
Yeah. So usually kanojo, by default, kanojo refers to her, she. Right? If you want to say girlfriend, usually people refer it to as koibito. 恋人, right? 爱人. Right, so in front there's a koibito. So koibito means lover, right? So in Chinese we don't really say this 念. The kanji, right, is 恋人.
This is 念 I thought it's
Is it no lah, it's 念, right?
I don't know about okay.
念 like 爱念人的爱 the 念. So usually 念人 we don't say in Chinese lah. In Chinese we say 爱人, right? 爱人, 我的爱人. So however, 爱人 in Japanese we pronounce it as 愛人. But 愛人 is not what you think of it as 愛人. So 愛人 in Chinese is 愛人, but in Japanese it means consort. So it's a different meaning. So please be aware that 愛人 don't use it in Japanese. Right? Just because 爱人 in Chinese is literally the 愛 and the 人 means lover. But in Japanese it doesn't mean lover, it means consort. Right? The empress 小老婆. So if you use that on a friend, the friend will be like, you think I what? I got 小三. Right? So please beware of using be careful of using the word 愛人. You might accidentally suggest that you have a third party in the relationship. Alright? So that is the big difference lah. Okay, next page we have the grammar directional verb. So number 1. 私は明日図書館へ行きます. So 行きます is my verb, right? Same as previously the time, we talk about time, the verb is always the sentence ender. It ends the sentence. So in this case, 行きます will also end the sentence. Right? So to connect the verb with my noun, in this case my noun is 図書館. 図書館 means library. So library, go. Right? In English we connect them by saying go to library. So in Japanese we also need a particle to combine them together. So we use the particle へ. So in this case へ is our equivalent of to in English. So go to library. Right? 図書館へ行きます. Okay, we look at the example number 1. 私は毎朝食堂へ行きます. So go to shokudo. Right? Go to shokudo. Shokudo has a few meaning. It can be a canteen, it can be a cafeteria, it can be a dining room. So there's no specifics. Wow, very noisy. Chinese people. Okay, so the dining room, shokudo, it's not just limited to a dining room. It is just a place, a hall where you eat, a hall where you dine, right? So it's like 食堂, right? 食堂 can be, it's very vague, right? So please don't think of it as dining room only. Right, same thing, if you have a dining room in your house, your HDB, we don't say shokudo. Shokudo, tang is a hall, it's a very big place, right? So your house, that one is not called shokudo. Your house, that one, you can call it as a dining good, which means dining lah. Dining is fine already. Right? So we don't say do. Do is like tang, which is hall, very, very huge. Number 2, Kimura-san wa kyou koko e kimasu. Right? Koko means here. So here e kimasu. Kimasu is come. So come to here. Come to here. So who come to here? Kimura-san. So about Kimura-san, he will come here. He will come to here. Okay. Number 3, Sensei wa lainen kuni e kaerimasu. So about the teacher, next year, country to go back. So go back to his country next year. So you can guess how the sentence structure is like lah. So basically we read it in reverse if you want to translate to English. So Japanese will be the opposite way. Right? So subject first, sensei, then the time period, lainen, then the direction of the place, kuni, e, then our verb. The verb is always at the end. Right? So the tense will be determined by the verb at the end. So whether he went back already or he didn't go back, we just need to change the must. Okay, number 4. 来週銀行へ行きますか? So next week to bank go, right? So next week go to bank question mark. So it is a question. はい、行きます。いいえ、行きません。Okay. Number 5. 明日どこへ行きますか? So since we are going somewhere means our question word has to be related to where. So where is どこ? So どこへ, right? So to where, right? どこへ, to where do you go? So 動物園へ行きます. So go to zoo. どこへも行きません. どこも行きません. Okay, so どこも, the particle mo, if you recall, it means also, right? So you can think of it as where also don't go, right? So it's like 哪里都没有去, right? So where also never go, which means I'm not going anywhere. Okay, where also never go, where also don't go, right? So where also don't go, どこへも行きません. So the air is optional because remember the particle mo takes priority. It replaces the particle itself. So if you want to replace the word air with mo is okay. If you don't want to add in both, also okay. Right? So どこへも行きません. Just don't read it as どこへも行きません. Right? Next, number 6. 昨日どこへ行きましたか? So 昨日 is yesterday. So we have to ask the question in past tense. So どこへ行きました? Then the question mark か. So the reply can be 植物園へ行きました. どこも行きませんでした. Right, so your response is according to what is the time frame that you're asking the question. Is it yesterday? Yesterday you reply in past tense. Right, so below we have the orders of sentence, of words in a sentence. I will not talk about that because I got a summary page on the very last page. That one I will talk about it next week. Right, the sentence structure for now is not our main priority. I'm okay with the wrong sentence structure for now. We will revise the sentence structure again when we reach lesson 8. Number 2. 私は飛行機で日本へ行きます. Right, so 日本へ行きます go to Japan. So go to Japan, we can also add additional information in front by the means of transport. right? On or the how that we are going there, right? To answer to the how. So in this case, 飛行機で日本へ行きます。So think of the で particle as a by in English, right? I go by bus, I go by train. So it's like a means of transport or a method of achieving something, a method of doing something, right? So we are using で as a means, as a tool of completing something. So completing the action of going to Japan. So in this case, by airplane, by train, by bus. So we use the particle で as an equivalent to the particle で. So to give you another example, number one, 田中さんはバスで会社へ来ました。So the subject is 田中さん。田中さん by what? By bus, right? So バスで to where? 会社へ行きました。So the priority, which one will come first? Why 会社へ cannot come first, right? So we have to think of the action is 来ました come. So come to, right? Come to priority is the destination that we are heading to. So 会社へ. Then before that will be our secondary information, right? That is not related to the verb. So バスで会社へ来ました. So you can think of it as a bigger place to a smaller place. So I know the bus is a small place, but think of it as it travels a large space. So usually we will go by the larger place, then the smaller place. So バスで会社へ来ました. So this is how the order is like. Okay, number 2. Next page, number 2. 彼は明日タクシーで病院へ行きます。So by taxi to hospital, he go. Right, so he go to hospital by taxi. So in English, just read it in reverse. Number 3. 彼女は船で香港へ行きます。So girlfriend by boat to Hong Kong, go. So go to Hong Kong by boat. So we just reverse the entire sentence. Number 4. 私の彼氏は毎晩自転車で公園へ行きます。So by bike to the garden, to the park, he go to park by bike every night. So the sentence structure is reversed as per English. 5. 私は歩いてここへ来ました。So the 歩いて is the verb that I was mentioning to you, right? The te form verb. So this te form verb already includes the particle で inside already. It has the meaning, it implies the meaning of で inside already. So it's like 歩いて means by walking, or rather by foot, right? By walking, I think of it as by walking, because arukimasu is to walk. So by walking. So by walking, here I come. So I come here by walking. Okay? Because there's no means of transport lah. If you want to say by your legs, can. Ashi de kimashita. I come by foot. But it's very unnatural to say you come by foot literally in Japanese. So usually they will use the verb aruite. Okay. New question word. Number 6. なんで銀行へ行きますか? So なんで is what, right? なん is what. で is the particle by what. So by what, literally by what means なんで. But however, なんで has another meaning also. It means why. So in order to not confuse between the why and the how, right? なんで is how, by what, right? How, by method of, by what is how. But however, I don't want to mix up the なんで for why and the なんで for how. So actually there's a better way to ask the question as well. We will use どうやって. Right? So どうやって is just another way to say how. I'm not saying なんで is wrong, but it's just that なんで can create unnecessary miscommunication. So you ask people like なんで銀行へ行きますか? To them it's like you are asking why you go to the bank rather than how you go to the bank. So the question can be miscommunicated. So to prevent such miscommunication, you can just use the word doyatte instead. So that is more of a how. For why, we can also don't need to use nande. We can also use doshite. Right? So instead of saying doyatte, or instead of saying nande, for why, we can also use doshite. Right? We've seen this doshite word in our previous comprehension practice. Right? They also say ask doshite. So yeah lah. But I still use nande more for why lah. Like someone tell me, I'm going home early. Nande. Yeah. Why you go back early? Right? He wouldn't be thinking I'm asking how he go back, right? How he go back early. So yeah. More like asking why you go back early. So why is a more common question than how. Right? People are not interested in the process, they're interested in the reason. So that's why nande is more commonly miscommunicated. Okay? And the answer will be densha de ikimasu. So the new information that we're replying is densha. So densha de ikimasu. Whatever else is inside watashi wa ginko e, this is already in the question, so we don't need to repeat them, so they are optional in your response. Number 7. Nande koko e kimashita ka? So how, by what, to here you came? Question mark. So it means you came here by what? Right? So how did you come here? So chikatetsu de kimashita. Chikatetsu de kimashita. Right? So chikatetsu literally means underground metal. So yeah, it means underground steel or underground metal. So it refers to only subway. If it's like those MRT, like Japanese, the JR, this on the ground. It's not underground one. On the ground, then that one we cannot say chikatetsu. That one we also cannot say metro. Metro. We cannot say metro also because it's not a intercity. It's not an inside city train line, right? JR is a cross country line. So that one we will just use densha, right? Which means 电车, which means like in general train lah. Right? So chikatetsu is only for underground. Metro is for within Tokyo. If the train line stretches outside Tokyo, then we wouldn't say metro. Metro is just like MRT. We don't call the KTM metro. We don't call the RTS that's coming up as metro. Right? Metro is just a metropolitan people mover. So it's just for metro lah, for MRT. Okay, so that's the main differences between all these trains. Okay, next we have so notes for number 6, none there is a question word. So orders of sentence, you can revise that as well. But you see the bracket, they say some time expression have ni behind. So what kind of time expression do we need to put a ni? Usually we say at 2 p.m. We don't say at afternoon I go to the zoo, right? So if you can guess why we use at is because for time expression with number, then we need to use at because it's specifying that specific particular time. For time expressions that does not involve a specific time, there is no number to it, then we don't need to use at. Same as Japanese. Afternoon, like for example, hiru or gogo, we don't need to put ni behind that because they are just a broad sense of time. However, if you want to say at 2 p.m., then we need to put the ni. Ni ji ni. Yeah, then we need to use ni. So, hope that helps you. We will have another revision about this at the back. Okay, number 3. 私は友達と学校へ行きます。So, 学校へ行きます go to school. Right? So the new particle here is と. So と is a particle when we want to show with accompaniment. Right? So when we have someone following us or a companion or an accompaniment, we will have to say, for example, 田中さんと or お母さんと. Right? So this と is just to show accompaniment. In Chinese it's like her, right? With. So with this person. So the と particle equivalent is with. However, some people will usually add the word 一緒に behind. Right? So 友達と一緒に. It's in square bracket because と is already showing accompaniment. ishoni is further emphasizing the accompaniment. So as I saying, 我和朋友一起. It's like you already say you are with friends, right? I go to zoo with my friend together. With my friend together. With friend already shows that you are already with the person. So why do you still need to use a together? Right? So it's extra information. It's a repetitive information. This is why ishoni is a square bracket. Right? So we don't need to use ishoni all the time. Example. 彼は恋人と一緒に家へ帰ります。So 家へ means to home. So to home, 帰ります。帰ります is go back. So go back to home. So with who? 恋人と. So with lover. Number 2. 私は母と買い物へ行きました。So about me, with mother, to shopping, we went. So we went shopping with my mother. Okay? Number 3. 彼女は家族とオーストラリアへ行きます。So go to Australia with family. So you read it in reverse as well in English. Right? In English, if you want to translate, you will read it in reverse. Number 4. 私は午後一人で公園へ行きます。So 公園へ行きます。Go to park. 午後 is our time expression without a specific time number. So we just like, oh, afternoon. So we don't need to put a ni in this case, right? No, 午後に is wrong. So just 午後 will do already. We don't need any particle behind it. 午後一人で. So 一人で is not と, right? There's no と. So the thing is, 一人 is one person. 一人 means alone. It means one person. Then 一人 behind has a で. Then just now I told you で is by means of, right? So you can think of this 一人で as by oneself. Right? So by oneself, how you use the accompaniment? You're not accompanied by anything or anyone, right? So we cannot use the と particle in this case. So how do you say by oneself, by alone? We use the particle で. So by oneself, 一人で. Right? So I'm not changing any of your understanding in Japanese. I'm still using the particle で. The same meaning of what it means previously. Right? So by oneself. So 私は午後一人で公園へ行きます。So go to park by oneself in the afternoon. Okay, by oneself is just alone. Okay, so the question word here, since it is an accompaniment question, right? So accompaniment means that our question is going to be who, right? Who. So 誰と. So with who. 誰とここへ来ましたか? So with whom you came here with. So 5a. 妹と来ました. So with sister, came. So came with sister. Number 6. 誰と家へ帰りますか? So with whom, to whom you go back. So you go back to home with who? 弟と帰ります. So with brother, go back. So go back with brother. Any questions so far? Good, huh? Not so difficult, right? The particles are just need to memorize them. Very easy. Okay, moving on to number 4.
So when you use go, but you use the karimasu instead of ikimasu.
Okay, 帰ります means to balik kampung, right? To go back. So go back to, which means return to lah. So kimasu is come to. So usually when we say go back home, then we say go back. We don't say come home. We will use go back home rather than come home. Does that answer your
What about
question?
ikimasu?
Ikimasu is go. So go to home sounds like it's not your house. Yeah, so if you want to say go back to my house, we will usually use kairimasu. Okay. Number 4. 私は9月に日本へ行きます. So 日本へ行きます go to Japan. Right? Then 9月に. So previously we learned the time, right? The ni means at. But in English we don't say at September. We say in September. Right? And then September is a very broad time range. Right? It's a month. It's a whole month. But if you think about it, if we can narrow down the time frame into this September only, it is still considering specifying a time frame. So this Ni particle, we will still use it for time expression with numbers. So instead of a at meaning, it is more of a in. So in September. So I as a subject, about me, in September, to Japan, I go. So I go to Japan in September. Right? Or if you want to use the word in, you can change it to during. So I go to Japan during September. Right? So think of it as the ni particle still captures that specific time period that you're going. Right? I'm not going outside of September, I'm going in September, at September. Right? So it still has the same meaning as the ni meaning previously. Right? To give you an example, let's look at example number 2. 8月15日に国へ帰ります。So, in this case, it's no longer a during, it is not a ni, it is not a in, it is not a during, it is not a at. So, this will become on. So, country, 国へ帰ります。Country, go back. So, go back to country on 15 August. Right, so now the meaning has an on meaning. But it still retains the same meaning now. It's just basically you are specifying a specific time that you are doing this action. Right? So the need meaning still retained as per it is. Just that in English there's so many different. There's like on, there's like during, there's like in, there's like at. Yeah, so English is more difficult. Okay, so need is just a one solution for all months, dates, time with a specific number. Then we use need. Right? If there's no number like ashita, lainen, asatte, all those there's no number, then we don't need to use ni. Easy to understand, huh? Got number, use ni. No number, don't use ni. Very, very easy. New question word number 3. Nanji ni, right? 教室へ来ましたか? So to classroom, what time? So what time come to classroom? Question mark. Right? 6時に来ました. So at 6 o'clock, come to classroom. Number 4. 何月に, right? So 何月 is what month, right? So what month, in what month, or during what month, you go to Japan. Right? So as long as the answer requires a number, we will put the ni particle. So 何月に日本へ行きますか? 9月に行きます. Right? Number 5. 何月何日に日本へ行きますか? So in what day, what month are you going to Japan? So since the nan is just a question what, and then your answer is going to be a specific number, then we have to use the ni particle behind. Okay, number 6. 何曜日にここへ来ますか? So you see for this one, 何曜日に, number 6, 何曜日に, square bracket ni. So should I put ni or should I not put ni? So we put ni, we can justify why also, because technically days of a week is also very specific. Right? Tuesday is Tuesday. Right? It cannot be Wednesday. Right? In Chinese we use 星期一, 星期二, 星期三. There's a number inside also. So technically we should use ni. But however, people also can argue, say that it is a very broad thing also. Like, oh, the whole day, I don't specify what day. Right? On Tuesday or on Wednesday. So I don't want to put also can. Can. So up to you lah. Usually I would say put for Monday to Sunday, put ni. Because in English we say on Sunday. Right? So we have to use the particle. Okay, number 7, general time frame. If you don't know you don't have a specific hour, minute, month, or date, then you use 一字. Okay, so 一字 is just a very general way to say when. Okay, moving on to number 5. Sorry, it's getting a bit dry, but number 5, bear with me.
Yeah, sorry. So
Yes.
let's say, is there like a generic form of like one date instead of saying 何月何日? So that you say 一字.
Usually we just say 几时 in Chinese. So it's like 几时 is just 一字. Yeah. So if you just ask generally, that's 一字. Yeah. Okay, number 5. 私はシンガポールから来ました. So you remember previously in lesson 1 or lesson 2 we learned the particle no. Right? For example, we say シンガポールのリンさん. That means Lim from Singapore. But I told you that the no particle is very general. Right? It does not specifically saying that this guy is from Singapore. It could be that he's living in Singapore, or he is born in Singapore but living elsewhere, or he is just doing business there, right? So if you want to specifically say that you came from this place, physically came from this place, this is the sentence structure that we will use, right? So シンガポールから来ました。So the word から means from, right? From previously we learned the time, right? 1時から2時まで. So the から meaning here is not the that's why, it is the from. So from Singapore, came. So came from Singapore. Right? So it doesn't really say it means that you are from Singapore. It just say that you came from. It could be a physical meaning. For example, I transited Korea and come to Japan from Singapore. So I can still say I came from Korea. Right? Maybe I went to Korea and played for 3 days. Oh, I came from Korea. So we will still use this kara kimashita. Right? So it doesn't necessarily mean that this guy is born in Singapore or anything. It just say that this guy physically came from that place. Right? He could be living there, he could just be transiting there. It's not very specific, but it's just basically just suggesting that, oh, I physically came from this place. But of course, it can also be implied that this guy is born there lah. This guy has lived in that country for a long time. Okay. Example 1. どこから来ましたか? So it's a where question, right? So どこから来ましたか? So from where did you came? Right? Or I came from Jurong, right? Jurong から来ました. So for example, マレーシアから来ました. Came from Malaysia. Number 2, 今日 today, 今日 is today, right? So today どこから来ましたか? So today came from where? Right? So where you come from today? 会社から来ました. So came from company. 会社から来ました. So far so good. Any questions? No question. We go on to the next page. Lesson 7 conversation. Okay, so lesson 7 conversation, it says sasoi. Sasoi is simply invitation. So sasoi without the mas is a noun. Right? If you want a noun version, you want a verb version, it's sasoi mas. Right? Sasoi without the mas it just means invitation. If you want to say to invite, it will be sasoimasu. So it is within 2 persons, Lim-san and Tanaka-san. I will go first. 今週の金曜日は祝日ですね. So 今週 means this week. So this week's, correct, apostrophe S, this week's 金曜日. 金曜日 is Friday, right? So this week's Friday, wa is, right? So this week Friday is 祝日, right? Which means PH. Wa public holiday ですね. So ですね, the ね meaning here is just to tell someone information that he probably already know. It's like, wait, today the weather is hot, right? 今日は天気暑いですね. Right? It's just to suggest something that he might already know. The listener might already know. So 田中さんはどこへ行きますか? So Tanaka, about Tanaka, where go? Question mark. So it's like, where you going today lah? Okay. He replies, 私は家族と幼稚園へ行きます. So about me, with family to the amusement park, go. So that means I go to amusement park with family. Right, please be careful with the word UNG. UNG means 游乐园. Right? If we flip the U and the N, it becomes, if we flip the N and the Chi, it becomes UGN. There is another new meaning. UNG versus UGN. UGN means 幼稚园. Okay? UGN is 幼稚园. UNG is 游乐地. 游乐地. Okay, so 游乐地 versus 幼稚园 is very different. So imagine you call a taxi and then you say you want to go to the UGN, then they bring you go to kindergarten. Right, so please be careful with the... I had a trouble with this for the first few years also. I was like, hey, you want to go to the kindergarten or not? Then the friend looked at me and he's like, huh? So it's a very common mistake. Okay, I made the mistake myself as well. So please be careful with this mistake. So UNG. ikimasu. So go to amusement park. L says, honto desu ka? So honto means 真的. So honto desu ka? 真的啊? Is it for real? Is that really? Right? Really? Then 偶然ですね. So 偶然ですね. 偶然 means 巧合, which means coincidence. So it's like, wow, so gum, so 巧. Right? So coincidental. So coincidental ですね. Right? 偶然ですね. 私も行きます. Right? So Mo says that he also go. Right? So I also go. Right? Really? What a coincidence. I also going. Right? This is what they're trying to say. Next, T says, あ、それじゃあ一緒に行きませんか? So あ is just a reaction. それじゃ. So それじゃ is just like that. Or yeah. So それ is that, right? So like that. It has a meaning of like that. It's like 这样这样这样 or like that. 一緒に一緒に is together, right? So 一緒に together 行きませんか? So 行きません is don't go. But we have a question behind. So don't go. So when we have a negative verb plus a question, it becomes a invitation. Right? So in Japanese, we invite somebody via the negative way. Why? It's like in English, think of it as, hey, you want go not? You want go not? We also use the not behind, right? You want go not? So if you say you want go versus you want go not, which one will pressure the other party to want to go? The negative way, right? So the negative way is a stronger way to say, to invite somebody, then the person cannot decline the invitation. Right? It's like saying you want go my. So the person is harder to say, don't go lah. Right? When you ask in a negative way, it's a stronger way to persuade someone to go with you. It's an invitation, but it's also a persuasion. Right? So we ask questions in negative in order to have a stronger way, stronger persuasion power for the person to go. Okay? So それじゃあ一緒に行きませんか? So like that, 这样要不要一起去? 要一起去不? Something like that lah. Else replies, So it's not right? When you see double E, there's two ways to read it. It's like versus So is like shock. Is like yes. It's another way to say hi. Okay? It's a more casual and friendly way to say hi. Can you imagine you hide somebody is like you some lapdog. Right? So we don't want to keep hide all the time. It's very tiring. So you can be like, so shimashou. So yes, let's do so. Right? So it's a shimashou. Shimashou is a grammar pattern where mashou means to do something together. So it's like a let us go. Right? So let's is like a LET apostrophe S. Let us go. Like together. So so shimashou. So it's like yeah, let's do so. Right? Let's do so together. Right? So since yes is then the one to go is then the casual version is okay, so if you want to reject someone, you can just reply to reject. So because when you say it's like that means you got something on already. So in a very informal way, you are suggesting that got difficulty in going. It's like you're saying if you have to hesitate and think twice, that means you're saying no already. Right? So is like yes. Is like I got something on. Is just like shock. So the different replies just from the sound you can hear the reply already. Then you know already whether the person want to go or not. Okay, there's another way to say yes as well. Right? Informally in Japanese, the other way to say yes is That's like how we say in English lah. In Singapore lah. Want go not? Then if you don't want to go, yeah, so becomes don't go. Becomes don't want already. So and is don't you want to go and you want to go. Alright, so let me just summarize everything here lah. I think.
Yeah, I would like to see you write it down.
Yeah, let me just summarize everything. Okay, so we have a yes and no. So when we have which is like flat, is yes. Is like I have hesitations. That means I don't want to go. Right? Of course, we have our height and iye. And then another way, which is informal, is and which is the one. Okay? So these are the common way to reply. Reply yes and no lah. But of course, we try to stick to the height and iye. We don't want to be rude or overly friendly with someone. So the Japanese person won't be like, 我跟你很熟啊. Okay, so we try to stick to height and iye. We will learn more about all these kind of replies when we reach E3. Because E3 is where we start learning how to reply informally. How to be casual with somebody. Right, so for now, just stick to height and iye. Okay, moving on. Nande ikimasu ka? Right, so nande ikimasu ka? Why you go? Or rather, since we learned nande in this lesson, is how you go. By what do you go? Right, by what do you go? So he replies, T says, so desu ne. So desu ne is like, yeah, about that. So it's just like agreeing that to that question. It's like, I never thought about that question before, something like that. Right, so desu ne. It's like, yeah. So it's like, it's a filler. It is just to say that I have never thought of that question before. Right, it's like, so desu ne. It's like, yeah, about that. So about that, バスが便利ですから. So the word 便利 means 便利, means like convenient. Okay, it is a adjective. So adjective, usually the word before that is our object particle が. So about the bus as an object, right? The bus is convenient. Right? Bus is convenient ですから. So ですから means that's why, right? Or because. So because bus is convenient, バスで行きましょう. So 行きましょう means let's go, right? Let us go. So let's go by bus. Let's go by bus. So because bus is convenient, let's go by bus. Bus is convenient, that's why let's go by bus. Okay, L replies, わかりました. Right? I understood. わかりました. I understood. 楽しみですね. So 楽しみ. わかりました means I understood. It comes from the word わかります. わかります means to understand. Right? So わかりました means I understood. 楽しみですね. So 楽しい. Right? 楽しい means, if you remember, 楽しい means fun, enjoyable. Right? So when we say 楽しみ, we cancel one of the I, we replace it with a mi. Okay? It is not really a new grammar form, but rather it is unique to only this word. 楽しみ, it becomes I am anticipative. That means I am expecting. That means I am excited for something. That means you are looking forward to something. Okay? So basically, 楽しみですね. It means look forward to the fun. Right? It means to look forward to something, to anticipate something, to expect something fun. It has a positive meaning. Right? That means I'm looking forward to the fun. I'm looking forward to the event. I'm looking forward to enjoying myself. Okay, so 楽しみですね. Right? So I believe some of you also watch anime, then some of you might have heard the word waku waku before. So the waku waku just simply means 楽しみ also. It's the same meaning. Just that waku waku is very casual. So a more formal way, more polite way to use is 楽しみ. So 楽しみですね. Any questions about the passage? Need me to repeat anything? Good. Okay, let's have two students repeat the passage. Anybody want to volunteer themselves? No. I also don't know who to choose. I never seen Junhao for a long time, so Junhao. And Lisa, I also never seen her a long time. Okay lah, Junhao and Lisa. Yes.
今週の金曜日は祝日ね。
ですね。
ですね。田中さんはどこへ、行きますか？
Good.
私は家族と遊園地へ行きます。
Good.
本当ですか？偶然ですね。私も行きます。 の、
私も
も行きます。
あ、それじゃあ一緒に行きませんか？
そうそうしましょう。なんで行きますか？
そうですね。バスが便利ですからバスで行きましょう。
Good.
わかりました。楽しみですね。
Okay, good. So bendy, L-I, not the R sound, not Benry, right? Bendy. And then I think the des ne for Lisa sounds a bit off, right? Des ne. So yeah, this is good. So I think it was a bit off. The tone was a bit off. I think the rest is good. Yeah, the rest is not bad. Yeah, I think the pronunciation is good. Okay, so this is the conversation. Since we have a bit of time left, then maybe I'll just talk very briefly about the sentence structure lah. Go on to the very last page. Yeah, so next lesson we'll talk about the lesson 8. Homework today is lesson 7 in the worksheet. So lesson 7 worksheet. And then if you can flip all the way to the very last page, you will see this basic structure worksheet. I'll just briefly talk about this today lah. Okay, so this is everything that we have learned in E1, all the grammar particles and how the sentence structure is supposed to look like. So for lesson 1, we learned about a subject wa. Subject wa, noun des. If you want to say reject, I'm going to say no, we are not a student. Not student, we use de wa, arimasen. Right? Next, we have our E adjective. E adjective, des, we don't need to change anything. Right? Yasashi desu. We don't need to change anything, but when we change it to a negative version, it becomes, I take away the last I replace it with a kunai. Right? So it becomes yasashi kunai. Right? If I want to ask a question, I'm using the question word here, do. Right? So how is the person? Right? Kono hito wa dou desu ka? How is this person? This person is friendly. Kono hito wa yasashi desu. Right, so for the negative version of E adjective, as in if we want to put it in front of a noun, right? E adjective, we can put it in front of a noun as well. So when we put it in front of a noun, right? Yasashi hito. So yasashi hito, we don't need to change anything. We keep the last I, right? We still retain the last I, yasashi hito. We don't need to put anything in between. Yasashi hito. Des or de wa arimasen, depending on what you want to say. He is not friendly, he is friendly, right? So we can say yasashi hito de wa arimasen. He is not a friendly person. But then you think again. Okay, we cannot say yasashi kunai hito. Can also. Yasashi kunai hito desu. Same meaning. So depending on where you put the negative form, the meaning might be different by a little bit or might be the same. But in this case, it is the same. Right, so yasashi kunai hito desu or yasashi hito de wa arimasen. So your choice. Okay, you want to put the negative you want to put the negative with the adjective or you want to put the negative with at the end of the sentence. Both is okay. Next, we learned before noun adjective. So noun adjective, it kinds of mirror a noun. It acts like a noun, right? So for example, kirei desu, kirei de wa arimasen. To say yes and no. Right? It is very similar to a noun. Right? Sorry, I think I missed something. Go back to the E adjective. So for E adjective, if we put it in front of the noun, the question word here will be donna. So donna hito desu ka? So what kind of person, what type of person is he? Right? So the question word is donna. Moving on for the noun adjective. If we want to put the noun adjective in front of a noun, we have to put the particle na. Because I told you, noun adjective is very similar to a noun. So when we have a noun and a noun, in between we have to put a no particle. So instead of a no particle, a noun adjective, we have to put a na particle. Alright, so des and de wa arimasen accordingly, to say yes or not. Okay, the question word is similar. We use donna as the question word. Next, have we learned this? I think so. Okay, so in this case, we have this particle ga in the middle. So ga is an object particle. So the subject can be like somebody, like for example, Ben Sensei, about me, right? Ben Sensei is a subject. Then what about me? Maybe my height is short, right? So you have to, we cannot have two subjects. So it cannot be like Ben Sensei and height both as a subject. One of them have to be the secondary subject, which means it's the object. Right? So in this case, if I just want to talk about my height, then we can say 背が高いです。背が低いです。That is about the height. But the height belongs to who? Who are we talking about? That will be in front. We will put a は in front. So Ben Sensei は背が高いです。So same thing, since it is an adjective, most of the adjective, or rather all of the adjective, in front of it, it has to be an object particle. Because we are describing an object. Right? So when we are describing an adjective, we are describing an object, we have to use the particle ga. Right? So to mention that I'm talking about this subject. I'm describing about this object. So examples of other adjectives includes 好き、嫌い、上手、下手, and 欲しい. All these are also adjective. So to give you a rundown, 好き is a adjective. Just because it ends with I? No. It doesn't end with I, it ends with a ki, ki. So it is actually a non-adjective. 嫌い ends with an e. Is it an e adjective? Sorry. 綺麗 is not an e adjective, so it's a non-adjective. 嫌い is also a non-adjective. So 上手 is also a non-adjective. 下手 is also a non-adjective. 欲しい oh, there's a double I. 優しい is an e adjective. 欲しい is an e adjective. Yes. So 欲しい we don't need to put na behind. Right? So 欲しい is a e adjective. So all these are not describing, like not directly describing anything. Right? For example, I just want to say I like this thing. Right? Like is not really an adjective, but we still classify them as adjective. So we can use this to compare with things that I want to like, I want to hate, I want to don't like, I want to want. 欲しい is want, by the way. This is want. Okay, then I go through like, hate, good at, bad at, like. Right? So 欲しい is like. Or rather want. Like to have or rather want. Right? Now we have nani and dare. So nani and dare is our question words here. There's more than what we can ask. So we can describe a place, we can describe an object, we can describe a location, we can also describe a person. So it's very, you can use doko, dare and stuff like that. Okay. Next will be next page, the sentence structure for lesson 6 to 9. Ideally, I would like to talk about this page when we reach 6 to 9, but I think now it's good to do time as well. So for example, I told you, right? Japanese sentence structure, we always start with the subject, right? So subject, wa, something in the middle. And then it always ends with a verb. So you can see the structure here, starts with a noun, ends with a verb. In the middle, what is the priority system? So the priority system is from up to down. From up to down. So first we will talk about the time expression, without number. So you can see the without number, behind it, we don't have a particle. Right? So for example, 毎日、来年、明日、来週. Right? All these don't have a number. So we don't need to put the ni. When we have a time expression with number, with number, that means we have a specific time that we're talking about, then we put in the particle ni. So after the time, we will use our kara and made. So starting point, ending point. So kara and made. So below it is the question word that you can consider using, right? Nanji, doko. After that will be our accompaniment, right? So in a sentence, after kara made will be our accompaniment. So with whom? So with whom will be dare. Then the next will be the place of action. So we haven't learned, did we learn the place of action? We did? No, we did not. We haven't yet. The place of action will be next week. Okay, but anyways, there's two there. You can see there's two there. There has two meanings, right? We have learned the other one today, the one below. The by means of transport, tool, instrument, and language. So that one we learned it today already. But the one above the place of action, we will learn it next week. Okay, so the priority system will be transport means, followed by the place and direction air. Right? So this is how the priority system in the sentence structure will be like. Which one will come before which one. Okay, and then this is where we stopped today. We will learn more about the ni and ni kara below lah. of course we have learned the kara before lah. So the place from where. Yeah, so we have learned that already. So all this we will talk about them again in the next few lessons. So far we learned until here. So the priority system is simply from here until here, and then we end with the verb. So that's how you are supposed to form the sentence. Okay, so if you are doing your homework, you can refer to this page to see how am I supposed to phrase my sentence. Which word should come first? Which time? Is it time come first? Is it the place of, is it the time need come first, or is it the place A go first? Which one is priority? You can check this list. Okay, so I think with this today we will